This is Ashley, and today will be a video about the difference between yoga and Pilates, which I get asked this question all the time because I teach both yoga and Pilates. And I get overwhelmed thinking about how to answer it because there's so many amazing good things about both. I don't want to talk up one more than the other because I love both. I happen to teach, I've been teaching Pilates mostly full-time for 11 years. I've been teaching yoga about 2 years. I can claim being a yogi for 7 years. So I have a little more Pilates influence just because of the many years I've spent studying it, but I mean, both are incredible. So the biggest thing, the reason why I stayed with Pilates but also introduced yoga into my life was the nervous system regulation. I think that is such a beautiful thing. Clearly, certain questions get me worked up, and things get me worked up very easily, like most of us. And having these tools that yoga uniquely has all these different ways to regulate your nervous system, and yoga specifically is designed, most lineages of yoga are designed to put you in from a sympathetic state to a parasympathetic state. Parasympathetic meaning rest and digest, sympathetic meaning fight or flight or freeze. And so let me get into kind of the differences between yoga and Pilates. So yoga was founded or came about 2,000 years ago. And then Pilates about 200 years ago. Yoga, there's many lineages. There's philosophy behind it. There is tons of ways to practice yoga. There's Ashtanga, there's Kundalini, there's Yin, there are all these different styles. And Pilates, one man invented Pilates years and years ago, Joseph Pilates, and he actually called it at the time Chrontology. It wasn't called Pilates, even that was his last name. Only after he died do we now call it Pilates. He was an Austrian guy who was sick, he had rickets, and was obsessed with health and fitness. And he actually took every exercise that he was exposed to and turned it into Chrontology, what is now called Pilates today. So there's some yoga influence. There's mountain climbing, there's boxing, there's ballet, there's fencing, there's all kinds of hybrid influences in Pilates from different types of exercise, and yoga was a little piece of that. So then I'll go more into, I'll keep going back and forth because this is like lights my fire. So specifically Pilates, you can do mat Pilates, you can do machine Pilates. Machine Pilates, there's the spring resistance, or there's your own body resistance. Generally in yoga, you have the mat, you have props, you'll have a yoga strap, yoga blocks, blanket, bolster, but there aren't big machines. Actually, I do have a yoga machine, I guess. It's, that's called a yoga whale. I inherited it from a client. It is my baby. It looks like a piece of modern furniture, and I love it. So that would be a really big prop in yoga. And okay, I'm just gonna keep going back and forth, but I was hoping organically this would flow. So Pilates is more about control and stability, hence the name Chrontology. It was called Chrontology before it was called Pilates. So if you look at a Pilates exercise, which I'll do a little Pilates yoga video right after this intro, but one part of the body is stable, and then another part of the body is mobile. And the part of the body that is stable is actually working a lot harder than the moving part. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to show you legs, single leg circles. For instance, just so you get a little taste of what I mean by this. So I'm really stable in my arms, in my leg, in my core. And I'm moving just a little bit. I'm clearly moving my leg, but everything else is stable. So it doesn't look like I'm working hard. It maybe looks like I'm working my leg, but this is what's working. This is what's working, right? Okay, so going back to the differences between yoga and Pilates. Pilates is done mostly low to the ground. It's articulation of the spine, articulation of the foot, controlling the breath with the movement. And then yoga, there are locks, binds in yoga. I guess locks meaning energetic locks. And you're standing and you're holding poses and you're balancing on one leg in yoga. Pilates, you're balancing sometimes on one leg, but you're pushing a pedal down and up, right? There are a lot of closed kinetic chains in Pilates, especially when you get to the springs. And I had another point. In yoga, there's a lot of languaging about calming the breath, and can you do a pose, but can you continue a deep full breath in this really challenging pose? So it's a little bit, what I love about both, and if you like one more than the other, like if you like Pilates more than you like yoga or vice versa, I encourage you to open your mind to both, because I was not open to yoga for many years. I was all about Pilates, and my life has gotten so much better because I can take from both yoga and Pilates and get the best of both of them. Gosh, this is so tangent-y, but what else do I want to say about that? Oh, so it's both are a slightly different path to get to the same conclusion. The same conclusion meaning awareness of your body, getting out of pain, getting out of just injury prevention. And the way I personally teach in both yoga and Pilates, I teach a slower style. And I never thought I would. I thought I would just be a fast-paced person. But the slowing down, I think, is so powerful. And I think all of us could use a little bit more pausing and dropping in and feeling what's on the inside. And so what yoga gave me that Pilates also gave me but didn't say, yoga states, you change your internal landscape and your external world shifts. And that's how I feel having now yoga in my life for quite a few years now. I feel that. I see it. It's more tangible. So I recommend both always. It depends on what you're looking for. Pilates has a little more of a rehab thing, and if it's a one-on-one, and if there's machines, and if you have pelvic floor stuff, it's a great tool, but so is yoga. For me, yoga has always been more of the psychological, let's calm this hamster wheel. And Pilates has been, let's prove to myself how strong I am. And, it works. So mentally strong and then physically strong. And they both do that, and they both help. So yeah, I just wanted to open up the conversation about it because although answering it felt overwhelming still, I think it's a very important yeah, very important thing. I'm just looking at my notes if there's anything else I want to say about it. There's so much more I could say about this subject, but I feel like there's going to be some diarrhea of the mouth if I don't like stop. And we've been going for like 12 minutes. So yeah, in the comments, let me know your thoughts. And there's going to be a video that follows that's a short yoga and Pilates routine. And it kind of highlights like unique things about yoga that are different from Pilates, and unique things about Pilates that are different from yoga. So you get these really dynamic, kind of interesting stuff. So I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good day.